Today we are going to discuss about cost of capital. All these things have been discussed through the LMS by me. Two video sessions have been uploaded, and one session belongs to the cost of capital and one session belongs to the valuation on bonds. This week I am going to discuss about cost of capital part, and next week, as a recapping, then next week I am going to discuss with you about the bond valuation part. Okay, hope as I put in the Google Classroom, hope all of you have go through that video session, go through that presentation, and hope you have the basic knowledge regarding this. Then today what I was planned is to having some past paper questions, how to the level questions. Okay, before that I will recap a little bit the basic theory and way of doing these calculations. Okay, basically when it's become the cost of capital refers to the cost which need to incurred by the company in case of finding the required capital. ඒ කියන්නේ පුතේ අපේක්ෂිත ප්‍රාග්ධන අවශ්‍යතාවය සපුරා ගැනීම සඳහා ආයතනයක් විසින් දැරිය යුතු පිරිවැය. අපි දන්නවා අපි බැංකුවේ සල්ලි දානවා, බැංකුවේ සල්ලි දාන්නේ නැහැ ප්‍රතිලාභයක් එන්නේ නැත්නම්. අපි කොටස් මිලදී ගන්නවා, අපි කොටස් මිලදී ගන්නේ නැහැ ප්‍රතිලාභයක් එනකම්. අපේ සල්ලි අපිට අපි දෙනවා කියන්නේ, that means from investors view, investor invest money means investor bears a risk. For that risk some compensation should come. Okay, that means because from our money, from investors money, one party bank, or when it's become a public limited company, that particular company or is going to earn profits. That means from part of that profit belongs to that investors too. So when we are going to invest, we as investor expect something. That the return of the investors means the cost of the particular organization. I hope you got the idea. ඒකෙන් මම අර සරලව මම ක්ලාස් එකේදී කියලා දීලා තියෙනවා. එක්කෙනෙක්ට ලැබෙනවා කියන්නේ තව කෙනෙක්ට අහිමි වෙනවා. එහෙනම් ලැබෙන කෙනාට රිටර්න් එක අහිමි වෙන කෙනාට ප්‍රතිලාභය. I think you got the idea. Then when it's become nowadays in modern world, when it's become the organizations, normally we are in financial management, we are talking about the private industries, and basically these financial concepts are we are discussing with regards to the public limited companies. Okay, so as you are aware, public limited companies can found their basic financial requirements through the ordinary shares. Okay, in the when it's become cost of the ordinary share, it's normally we known as dividends. අපි දන්නවා සාමාන්‍ය කොටස් වලින් ප්‍රාග්ධනය රැස් කරගන්න පුළුවන්. සාමාන්‍ය කොටස් වලින් ප්‍රාග්ධනය රැස් කරගන්නකොට ඒ වෙනුවෙන් දරන පිරිවැය dividend. ප්‍රාග්ධනයේ පිරිවැය කතා කරනකොට when it's become cost of capital belongs to the equity or the ordinary shares, I have discussed three methods. One method is constant dividend model. If you go through the video, you may remind that we can calculate at that scenario the KS or KE. KS equals to D divided by P. Another model I have discussed there, that is known as dividend growth model. Dividend growth model. Under that scenario, I have put that KS can be calculated. In case of dividend growth model, in case of constant dividend model, dividend is not going to change for the infinite period. That's the basic assumption. When it's become dividend growth model, we are assuming that dividends is going to have a growth rate for a constant growth rate for infinite period. Dividend growth constant dividend model එකේදී අපි ලබන්න එහෙම නැත්නම් ආයතනයේ පැත්තෙන් ගත්තොත් ගෙවන්නේ එකම dividend එක ඒක අනන්තයක් දක්වා කාල සීමාවක්
Hello?
ගෙවනවා කියලා කියනවා. ඊට පස්සේ dividend growth model එකේදී මේ dividend ගෙවන dividend ප්‍රමාණය ගෙවන ලාභාංශ ප්‍රමාණය
Mute එකද?
එකම ගානකින් වැඩි වෙන්න යනවා.
දැන් off කරා බා.
Who is talking? Please mute your mics. Okay.
Unmute කියලා තිය mute කරන්න. එහෙම.
Okay, if you have any questions now, I have unmuted muted all. If you have any questions, please send me a message. Then I will unmute you. Okay. Then when it's become dividend growth model, dividend is going to having a constant growth rate. ඒ කියන්නේ dividend මේ මාසේ 2යි නම් ඊගාව මාසේ 4යි ඊගාව මාසේ 6යි එකම ප්‍රමාණයෙන් වැඩි වෙන rate එක එකම ප්‍රමාණය වැඩි වෙන්න යන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ මාසේ 100ට 2යි නම් ඊගාව මාසේ 104යි. It's going to have a constant growth rate. Okay, that is dividend growth model. When it's become dividend growth model, we can calculate the KS as D1 divided by P plus G. Okay, when it's become here G, මෙතන G calculate කරන විදි දෙකකුත් අපි කතා කරා. In case of G also we can have two equations. One method is I have discussed maximum dividend by using the recent dividend which has been paid or received, or the RB model. Then on ordinary share in this material also I have included KP model. Under that we can say KS equals risk-free rate plus market return, or M minus again risk-free rate, then beta. I will put it as beta. Okay, beta symbol you can put. That is the one. Then I discuss some examples too. Other source is preference shares. When it's become preference shares, there are a few types of preference shares I have discussed with you. Those are redeemable preference shares and the irredeemable preference shares. When it's become redeemable preference shares, that means it is not going that means it is going to redeem after a maturity period. As I discussed in the material, I am not going to explain. Example එකක් විදියට ගත්තොත් එහෙම අවුරුදු 3කට පස්සේ අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම මේ අවුරුද්දේ අපි ආයෝජනය කරන අවුරුදු 3කට පස්සේ maturity period එක අවුරුදු 3යි නම් ඒකේ ලාභාංශයි සල්ලි ඔක්කොම අවුරුදු 3කට පස්සේ එනවා. අවුරුද්දෙන් අවුරුද්ද ලාභාංශය වෙනවා. maturity period එකෙන් පස්සේ අපිට එනවා face value. That means there we can identify the cash flows. So I discussed with you, in case of cost of capital, we can cost of capital refers to these redeemable preference shares. Here we have to identify the relevant cash flows. Then IRR value belongs to those cash flows, refers to the cost of capital when it's become preference shares. Then when it's become irredeemable preference shares, here KP equals to the IRR. Then here KP, then when it's become irredeemable preference shares, then here there is no maturity period. We are going to having the dividends for infinite period. That at that scenario we can say D divided by P0. D0 divided by P0 should be the irredeemable preference shares cost of capital. Then other source of income is the debenture. In here debenture, we may have in two types of debentures. Basically, two types of debentures we are going to have. One is debentures which is without having market value. The next part is with market value. In case of here also with market value, we are going to have in another two types of debentures as redeemable debentures and the irredeemable debentures. In here, simply we can use the equation of, I have put the examples also, KD equals to K within bracket 1 minus T. Here because as this the interest expenses is the cost of debentures, then interest are taxable. That is why we are considering T. All these things already we have discussed. Then when it's become KD, KD equals, in case of redeemable preference shares, to IRR of this particular cash flows, because after certain maturity period, we are going to have in that particular maturity, after maturity period, we are going to have in certain face value as like, so IRR equals to the KD. Then here, when it's become irredeemable preference shares, the K within bracket 1 minus P divided by P. Okay, those are the things which we need to do. In addition to that, end of the day, we discuss WACC, weighted average cost of capital. This is the summary of this session. Okay, I hope you are having some basic knowledge regarding these concepts and way of doing these calculations, as I included all the parts within that video session. Video session එකේ ඔක්කොම cover වෙන්න හදලා තියෙන නිසා මම හිතනවා මේ ඔක්කොම ඔයාලා හදන්න ඇති. මේ weighted average cost of capital විතරයි මම වැඩි touch කරේ නැත්තේ. ඒකෙදි ඒකත් කියලා දීලා තියෙනවා. Okay, now first let's move to the past paper 2018 question number 3.2. Let's see. 2018. ඔයාලත් මාත් එක්කම හදන්න. එතකොට මේක ආයේ මෙතනින් ඉවරයි. ඊට පස්සේ ඔයාලට exam එකට ඉඳ ගන්න විතරයි තියෙන්නේ. Okay, let's see. Question number 3.2 2018. Ensoft PLC again. 2018 question number 3.2. 3.2. මම theory කතා කරන්නේ ඔක්කොම තියෙන නිසා. Okay. Okay, Ensoft PLC is a software development company and its main business activities operate in Colombo city area. The company's capital structure mainly consists of ownership shares. The following capital structure appears as the 31st March 2017. Rupees 10 ordinary shares, then 60 million. Then retained earnings 5 million. Irredeemable preference shares 9% dividend and 10 rupees each, 4.5 million. Irredeemable, here one should be irredeemable debentures 1.8 million. So one, please, can you tell me how many ordinary shares should be here? Please send me a message, otherwise you may sleep. මෙතන සාමාන්‍ය කොටස් කීයක් තියෙනවද? Anyone? Yes, 6 million. 60 million divided by 10. You have to identify. Other important thing is, dear students, these values are not the market values. The reason what I am saying, you may identify end of this sum. Okay, these are the book values, not the market values. Yes, all of you are answering good. Then here it says market prices have been given. Current market prices of company shares are 30 and 6. 30 and 18 respectively for ordinary shares and preference shares. The company's last year dividend was rupees 2 per ordinary share. ඒ කියන්නේ ගිය අවුරුද්දේ රුපියල් 2ක් ගෙවලා තියෙනවා ලාභාංශ විදියට. සාමාන්‍ය කොටසක වටිනාකම වෙළඳපළගේ රුපියල් 30යි, වර්ණීය කොටසක 18යි. And then dividend had been growing at compound rate of 6% per annum. G dividend growth model එකේ G අපිට දීලා තියෙන්නේ 106යිලු. එහෙනම් මෙතන growth rate එක දීලා තියෙනවා කියන්නේ dividend valuation එක මේ cost of capital calculate කරද්දි cost of equity adapt කරද්දි දැන් අපි අර ඉස්සෙල්ලා කතා කරපු example වල when it's become ordinary shares we have to first of all we need to identify which mode is suitable for particular sum. මේ ගානට හරියන mode එක අපි හොයාගන්න ඕනේ. So here it is easy as we have given the G value, growth rate, it is saying constant growth is having with particular dividend, then definitely we need to adapt this second one, that means dividend growth model. Okay. The debentures of company have current market price of 60 and 100 in nominal value. Nominal value means face value. I have explain those also. The rate of rate of corporate taxes is 30%. Okay, 30% here. Okay, let's do the calculations. First, you also can join with me. Here, when it's become ordinary shares, okay, when it's become ordinary shares, they are according to the information already we have identified. First, what you need to do, but let's see what is asking. Prepare table indicating percentage of each finance sources, their cost and weighted average cost of capital based on the market value base. Harima, I can end of the day we need to calculate weighted average cost of capital, so that what we need to do, individually we have to calculate the cost belongs to that particular item, then we can calculate the weighted average cost of capital based on the those values. අපි මොකද කරන්න ඕනේ අවසානයේදී WACC calculate කරනකොට අපි මුලින්ම කරන්න ඕනේ මොකද්ද individually අපි එක එක source එකට අදාළ cost එක calculate කරලා ඒකේ මත පදනම් වෙලා අපිට පුළුවන් හදාගන්න අනිත් ඒවා. හරි, මේකේ growth rate එක අපිට කියලා තියෙනවා. growth rate එක කියලා තියෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ අපි අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම dividend growth valuation model එකට යන්න ඕනේ. එහෙනම් equation එක දාගන්න මුලින්ම අපි යන්නේ cost of ordinary shares calculate කරන්න. Now we are going to calculate cost of ordinary shares, and there the equation is KS means cost of ordinary shares equals to D1 divided by P0 plus G. In here D1, in the video I have explained how to calculate D1, D2, D3. Then here D can be calculated D0 into 1 plus G. If when it's become, how to calculate D2? Anyone please tell me how to calculate D2? දෙවෙනි අවුරුද්ද dividend calculate කරන්න. දැන් පළවෙනි අවුරුද්ද දැන් ආරම්භයේ dividend D0 නම් growth rate එක G නම් D1 calculate කරන්නේ D0 into 1 plus G. Then how is going to calculate D2? Anyone please message. I hope you go through එකත් බලලා නැද්ද? Yeah, good. D, yes, 008, I think Jessima, yes. 1 plus G into power 2. Yes, Jessima, you are correct. Then, එක පොඩ්ඩක් බලා ගන්න. ඔයාලා බලා ගන්න මේ D1 D2 නිකන් එන්න එපා. මම එක ඊයේ දැම්මේ. බලා ගන්න. Then 1 plus G. Then we can calculate the D1. Here D02. Why I am saying 2? The last year's dividend. Here last year dividend was rupees 2. ඒ කියන්නේ ගිය අවුරුද්ද ගෙවලා තියෙන්නේ D0. Now just we have paid. That's D0 is rupees 2. Then 1 plus G is 6%. Okay, that's why I have put 2 into 1 plus 0.06. Then when it's become අපිට second year එක ඕන 2 into 1 plus G power 2. okay, here power 1. එහෙනම් D2 calculate කරන්න ඕන වුණොත් එහෙම 2 ගුණ කිරීම 1 ධන 0.06 දෙවෙනි බලය. Please go to that video again. I am telling. Then answer is D1 2.12 rupees. Then P0 in the sum, P0 means market value. Market value. The current market price of company share is 30. Then that is the market value. Then growth rate has been given as 6%. Now we can substitute value for this equation. Then you can get this 2.12 divided by 30 plus 0.06. Then you can get the answer. Cost of ordinary share equals to 13%, 13.07%. You can have this answer by percentage or otherwise by decimals. Complete this. If you have any doubts, now you can ask. Doubts තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න. Okay, then KP, as I discussed with you here, we have to identify it is redeemable or irredeemable. After going, when it's become ordinary shares, we have to identify whether this sum is going, whether this particular ordinary share is going to have CAPE model or dividend growth model or constant dividend model. When it's become preference share, you have to touch with information. Is this redeemable or irredeemable? If it is redeemable, we have to identify the cash flow and we need to calculate the IRR. If it is irredeemable, what we need to do, use simple equation of D0 divided by P0. Here it is saying preference shares are irredeemable. It's not going to have any maturity. Then we can use this equation. Then our D0 value is 0.09. How it can calculate? Look at here. කොහොමද 0.7 ගත්තේ? Here 9% irredeemable shares. That means they are going to pay 9% on this 10% value. Then 10 into 9%. Keep in mind, we are not using market value when we are calculating the compensations or interest or dividends. We are using that face value. That means book value. Here book value is 10. 10 into 9%, 0.09. That is the dividend, constant dividend. Then market value of this have been given. Yeah, 18, 30 and 18 respectively for ordinary shares and preference shares. That means market value is 18. Now we can adapt this equation. Then 0.09, no, 0.9 divided by 18, answer is 5%. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Okay, now we discuss about ordinary shares and preference shares. Next one is debentures or debt. So when it's become debt capital or debentures, first of all, we need to identify whether it's going to have a market value or not. If it is having a market value, the market value එකක් තියනවද නැද්ද කියලා අඳුනගන්නේ කොහොමද? market value එකක් තියෙනවා නම් පුතේ ඒක අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම registered වෙන්න ඕනේ capital market එකක. ඒ විස්තරය ඔයාලට දෙනවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් කෙලින්ම කියනවා redeemable ද irredeemable ද කියලා. Okay, then irredeemable නම් කොහොමද ගැටලුවක් නැහැ, දෙකම එක වගේ තමයි. නමුත් ඔයාලා ගානේදී මතක තියාගන්න market value එකක් නැත්නම් ඒකත් irredeemable. ඒ කියන්නේ වෙළඳපොළ තුල උවමාරු කරන්න බෑ. In financial environments you may discuss these things. So when it's having a market value means most probably it is going to be redeemable. Okay, it's going to have a market value and maturity period. After a certain maturity period, we are going to we can receive, that means investor can receive that particular amount. But here it's going to be redeemable. So simple equation you can use k1 minus t. Here k in my bond valuation and share valuation video lecture session, I have explained how these are going to calculate. Then here face value is 100, the interest rate is 8, then 8 into 100 you can calculate the k interest, you can calculate. Then tax rate, in the sum tax rate having given 30%, tax rate 30% here you can see. Then you can adapt this equation. Then end of the day, cost of debt is 5.6. You may surprise why here only we are using T. The reason is cost of ordinary shares or cost of preference shares, simply the debentures of ordinary shares or the debentures of these preference shares are not taxable. That means are not tax deductible expenses. But when it's become interest, ඔයාලා tax කතා කරනකොට ඉගෙනගෙන ඇති මේක බදු ගෙවන්න කලින් අඩු කරන්න ඉඩ දෙන වියදමක් interest. So that's why here that impact is coming. ඒ කියන්නේ වැඩිපුර අපි පොලි ගෙවලා තිබ්බොත් එහෙම tax එකෙන් ඒ අපිට ඒක අඩු වෙනවා. මොකද ලාභය අඩු වෙනවනේ. එතකොට ගෙවන්න ඕන බදු ප්‍රමාණය අඩු වෙනවා. ඒකයි. Okay, now we can go for this table. Yeah, one question looks like, let's see. So k gatte kohoma dana here, this one 8, here 8% rate. Okay, face value හැමතිස්සෙම පුතේ මේ rates dividends ගන්න calculate කරනකොට market value එකෙන් නෙමෙයි ගුණ කරන්නේ face value එකෙන්. reason එක මම explain කරලා තියෙනවා lecture session එකේ, ඔයාලා බලන්න. මේ 100 ගුණ කිරීම 100ට 8. මේකටනේ අපි agree වෙන්නේ. අපි agreement එකට එනකොට agree වෙන්නේ මේකට. market value එක වෙනස් වෙන එක නෙමෙයි, මේකට තමයි අපි agree වෙන්නේ. එතකොට 100 ගුණ කිරීම 100ට 8 මම excel sheet එකේ දාලා තියෙනවා. Okay, then answer is 8. Then we go. Now we calculated the cost of ordinary share. Cost of ordinary share equals to 13.7%, 07%. Cost of preference shares is 5% and cost of debt 5.6%. Here it is saying prepare a table indicating percentages of each finance source, their cost and weighted average cost of capital based on market value. Keep in mind, I think you are aware now, as I discussed in the video session. I think you are aware now regarding how to calculate this weighted, and weighted belongs to these sources. But another thing, Puta, here these values are not the market values. These values are the book values. Okay, here we have to identify market value belongs to this ordinary share. Market value belongs to these preference shares. Market value belongs to these debentures. When it's become retained earnings, normally retained earnings is not having a market value, but we are saying in finance management, return earnings also having a cost. What is that? What is the cost of retained earnings? I believe that you may know what is retained earnings. What is that? මේ රීටේන් අපි කියන රඳවාගත් ලාභ වලට පිරිවැයක් තියෙනවා කියලා අපි කියනවා මූල්‍ය කල්පනාකරණය. ඔයාලා හිතන විදිහට මොකක්ද? හරි ඒක හලකේ තේරුම් ගන්න මම මේ කියන්න. Retained earnings කාටද අයිති? To whom? Retained earnings belongs to whom? Please say. Yes, shareholders. Yes, ordinary shareholders. Okay, that means we are retained earnings means from the profit we are paying dividends for. Firstly, we should pay interest, then we should pay dividends for preference shareholders, then only we are moving to the dividends for ordinary payments of dividends for ordinary shareholders. But it is not a compulsory thing doing payments for ordinary shareholders, as some institute are keeping some part of profit for further activities as retained earnings. ඔයාලට changes in equity statement එකේ මාරු කරන්නේ මොනවටද? reserves වලට. ඒක. So retained earnings විදියට කොටසක් තියාගෙන ඉන්නවා කියලා කියන්නේ සාමාන්‍ය කොටස් හිමියන්ට දෙන්න තියෙන ලාභාංශ ප්‍රමාණයක් අහිමි වෙනවා. ඇයි බෙදලා දෙන ලාභයෙන් කොටසක් තමයි ඔය තියාගන්නේ. එහෙනම් ඒක සාමාන්‍ය කොටස් හිමියගේ ආවස්තික පිරිවැය. That is the opportunity cost of ordinary share. That means keeping retained earnings means that is a opportunity cost of ordinary shareholders. Okay, then in here keep in mind cost of ordinary shares should equal to retained earnings also. But keep in mind when it's become retained earnings, those cannot market in the financial market, therefore it is not having any market value. Ekak ne. Okay, now this is the book value. Now how to calculate the market value of these ordinary shares? ඉරි දෙක තුනක් ඇඳෙනවා පුතා ඉරියන් ඉන්න එපා. ඔය ටච් එක ෆෝන් එක ටච් වෙනකොට ඉරියන්. Okay, anyone, how to calculate market value? Here it is saying this is book value. Book value 10 rupees per share, 60 million shares. Okay, one is saying answer. Let's see. Yes, 6 million into 30. Good. Who is that? Hasini. Yes, that answer is correct. How we got the 6 million? That means we are having 6 million shares, as I talked with you at the beginning. 60 million divided by 10, then per share market value is 30, then 30 into 6 million. Okay, that is the way. අපි කොටස් ගාන හොයා ගන්න ඕනේ. ඊට පස්සේ එක කොටසක market value එකෙන් ගුණ කරන්න ඕනේ. Okay, now let's come to the sum again. Then here Weight of ordinary share equals to, here you can see in the formula bar, 60 million divided by 10 into 30. මෙතන කොටස් ගාන හොයාගන්න 10න් බෙදනවා, ඒක ගුණ කරනවා 30න් market value එක. Then as I talk with you, when it's become return earnings, not having any market value, just having a book value. Preference shares, can you tell me anyone? Value of preference shares, then how to calculate? 4.5 million should divided by 10 multiplied by market value 18. Then debentures 1.8 million divided by 100 multiplied by, what is the market value? Market prices, market price 60. Debenture market price 60. Okay, then you can get the total market value of our capital මේ ටික එකතුව. Okay, then weight belongs to each source. මම කතා කරා weight එක calculate කරන්න කොහොමද කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ අනේ පුතේ ඉරියන් දින්න එපා. මුළු weight එක මුළු market value එක මේ ගාන total එක එකෙන් එක කියන්නත් අමාරුයි. Total එකෙන් මෙච්චරක් තියෙනවා ordinary shares, then you can calculate the weight portion එක percentage එකක් විදියට calculate කරන්න. When it's become ordinary share, it's 0. Then preference shares total එක මෙච්චරයි, preference shares මෙච්චරයි. එහෙනම් portion එක percentage එකක් විදියට ගන්න. Debenture වලත් ගන්න. End of the day, if we are correct, calculations, if our calculations are correct, total of all the weight should be equals to 100. Weight ටිකක් දාගන්නකො. Then already we have calculate cost belongs to each and every source. Ordinary shares 13.07. Retained earnings also same. Ordinary share retained earnings belongs to the ordinary shareholders, so we are considering that is as same. That is opportunity cost. Then preference shares we calculate 5%. Then cost of capital, cost of debenture we calculate 5.6. Then weighted average cost of capital, how to do that? We are going to calculate weight into cost of capital. Weight column එක ගුණ කරන්න cost of capital එකෙන් එතකොට එනවා W into KS, W into KP, W into KD, and the total. Then end of the column we can get the total value of this WA of those, that is known as WACC. That's the one. I think around 10 marks in the exam for this part. Each and every year one sum has come. Okay, any doubts? Otherwise we can move to next 2017 one. If you have any doubts, you can ask. මොකක්ද අහනවා සර් preference shares ගත්ත විදිහ preference shares මෙහෙමයි මම ඔයාලට කිව්වා වගේම preference shares වල ගයත් එහෙම preference shares ගත්තොත් එහෙම preference shares වර්ග කීපයක් තියෙනවා එක වර්ග දෙකක් තියෙනවා එකක් තමයි redeemable ඒ කියන්නේ නිදහස් කළ හැකි සහ නිදහස් කළ නොහැකි redeemable irredeemable කියලා කියන්නේ නිදහස් කරන්න පුළුවන් ඒක කාල සීමාවකට පස්සේ අපි කිවිස ගන්නකොටම අවුරුදු 3කට පස්සේ මම ඔයාලට මේ ගන්න දෙනවා කියලා කියනවා කම්පැනි ඉන්වෙස්ටර්ට ඊට පස්සේ කම්පැනි මොකද කරන්නේ අවුරුදු ගාන මැචියුරිටි පීරියඩ් එක ඉවරුනාට පස්සේ ගෙවනවා එතකොට පළවෙනි අවුරුද්ද දෙවෙනි අවුරුද්ද අපි හිතුවොත් එහෙම අවුරුදු 3යි කියලා මැචියුරිටි පීරියඩ් එක අවුරුදු 3 ඉවර වුණාම ගමුණතගේ හම්බෙනවා ඒ කාල සීමාව ඇතුළත වාර්ෂිකව ඩිවිඩන්ඩ්ස් හම්බෙනවා එතකොට කෑෂ් ෆ්ලෝස් අපිට අඳුර ගන්න පුළුවන් නිසා ඒ cash flows හදලා අර NPV calculate කරද්දී හදනවා වගේ හදලා අපි IRR calculate කරනවා ඕක තමයි cost of preference shares එන්නේ මෙතන එහෙම නෙමෙයිනේ මෙතන මේක තියෙන්නේ redeemable irredeemable preference shares එතකොට equation එකේ එන්නේ D0 divided by B0 මෙතන D0 අපිට අඳුර ගන්න පුළුවන් ගෙවන ලාභාංශය මෙතන ගාණ කියලා තියෙනවා අපි කිවිස ගන්නවා 109ක් ලාභාංශ ගෙවනවා preference shares වලට මේකේ book value එකේ කියන්නේ value වෙන්නේ face value එක 10යි. එහෙනම් කොටසකට ගෙවන්නේ කීයද? ලාභාංශ 10 ගුණ කිරීම 109 ඒක තමයි 790 දාලා තියෙන්නේ. ඊට පස්සේ වෙළඳපළගේ දීලා තියෙනවා 18යි. එහෙනම් 790 බෙදීම 18 තමයි preference shares වල cost එක වෙන්නේ. ආයෙ ප්‍රශ්න weight එක ගත්ත විදිය හරි මම පැහැදිලි කරන්නම් weight එක ගත්ත විදිය. Avantika yes I will explain weight එක ගන්න මෙහෙමයි දැන් market value එක අපි හොයා ගන්න ඕනේ හැම source එකේම market value එක ගත්තා දැන් මෙතන අපි මිලියන් වලින් අපි 18,991 කියලා කියමුකෝ 18918යි total එක ඒකෙන් 18918න් 108ක් තියෙන්නේ debentures එතකොට 810ක් තියෙන්නේ preference shares ordinary shares 1800ක් තියෙනවා. එතකොට මේ 195 ගන්නේ 18091න් 18000ක් තියෙන්නේ ordinary shares. එහෙමයි. ordinary shares වල value එක බෙදීම total shares. මේ equation හැම එකම you can get. That is the weight. ඒ කියන්නේ කොටස මුළු ප්‍රාග්ධනයෙන් සාමාන්‍ය කොටස් කීයද? From total capital, what is the portion of ordinary shares? Market value. From total capital, what is the portion of preference shares? From total capital, what is the portion of debentures? I think you got the idea. Then we can get the weighted average. Okay, let's do 2017, same as this one. Then you just start, then I will support you. 2017 ප්‍රශ්න අංක 5 2017 question number 5 2017 question number 5 5.2017 is this 2017 yes question number 5 4 yes question number 5.4 okay you just start I will join with you after 2 minutes ඔයාලා පටන් ගන්න වැඩේ බලලා මම මිනිත්තු දෙකකින් ඔයාලත් එක්ක join වෙන්න. එතකම් පටන් ගන්න. Okay, let's see one by one. The following information is extracted from the financial statements JPK Holdings as at 31st December 2016. Issued share capital is 500 million. It compressed 1 million ordinary shares. කියන්නේ මිලියන 5යි වටිනාකම book value එක. ඒක ඇතුලේ තියෙනවලු 1 million ordinary shares. Then per value how much? Per share value 500 million should divided by 1 million. මේ අවුරුද්ද හරිනේ 17. Then is a listed company in Colombo Stock Exchange. Last traded price of an ordinary share was 750. That means this is the market value. P0 is 750. Dividend paid for the just ended was 80. That means D0 80. Growth rate 5%. Then it's clear we have given the growth. That means we have to adopt the dividend growth model. Okay, let's see. Then here D1 we can calculate. D1 equals to D0 1 plus G. Then it is 84. D0 80 1 plus G 1 plus 0 0.05. P0 already we identified 750. G has been given 0 0.05 or 5%. Then here we can go for this, adapt this equation. Then our ordinary shares cost is 16.2. Okay, then retain earnings 150 million. Then irredeemable preference shares, that means what? Not having any maturity value, same as earlier. Then we can adopt this equation. Kp equals to D0 divided by P0. Here D0 has been given annual dividend per year 28 and trade price is 280. That means D0 28, P0 280. Then we can adopt this equation. Then Kp is 10%. Then cost of debt. Irredeemable non-quoted long-term borrowings. Here it has mentioned the term non-quoted. That means not listed in any financial capital market. That means irredeemable and also not having any market value. Were 110 million with annual interest of 16% annual interest කියලා තියෙනවා. So simply we can adopt this equation. මෙතන පුතේ අපිට ක්‍රම දෙකක් තියෙනවා ඕක විසඳන්න. Here K is normally the interest. That's why I thought I am telling that there is a two ways. Just here, first you can identify the interest expenses value by rupees. Here I have identified that it 110 million into 15%. මිලියන 110 ගුණ කරා 115න් එතකොට එනවා interest expense එක. Then tax rate also we need. We have identified the tax rate too. Then by adapting here, because the thing is here K is our interest, not the not the rate. Okay, that's why. Then we can identify the KP as 11.88. This answer is coming as rupees වලින් තමයි එන්නේ. එතකොට rupees million 11.88. Okay, then what we can do is මේ මිලියන 1.11.8 කියන්නේ expense එක. This is the cost of capital by rupees. Then for this one has incurred to gain 110 million. මේ මිලියන 11.8 අපි දරලා තියෙන්නේ මිලියන 110ක් වටිනා ණය කර අප වෙත අද්දව ගන්න. එහෙනම් ඒකෙන් බෙදලා අපිට ගන්න පුළුවන් සරලව 11.8 10.8 percentage එකක් විදිහට. ඕකේ පුතේ මම මෙතන යට වෙනම හදලා තියෙනවා. අපිට පුළුවන් සරලවම ඔය උත්තරේ ගන්න කොහොමද? මේ මෙහෙම. අර කලින් විදිහටම interest එක වෙනුවට interest rate එක දාලා 1 minus t වලින් ගත්තනම් හරි. නමුත් මෙතන equation එකේ තියෙන්නේ interest. මොකද interest rate එක ගන්න බෑ මේක unmarked case එකක් නිසා. නමුත් මෙහෙම ගත්තත් එකම උත්තරේ තමයි එන්නේ. same answer you are getting. You can adapt both the scenarios. Anyone you can see all those are same. පොඩි දෙයක් තියෙනවාට තේරෙනවා. ඔයාලා නිකන් interest rate එකට 1 minus t දාලා ගන්නකො එතකොට හරි. නමුත් ඔයාලා තර්කය දැනගන්න ඕනේ. You should know the rationale. That's why I am explaining. So you can go for this one. In here it's that the market value. Yes. මෙතන පුතියා තව දෙයක් තියෙනවා. මෙතන ගානේ කියනවා market value එකට අනුව WACC ගන්න කියලා. Weighted average based on market value. But if it has given normal or in all most of the sums it is given as market value, but because that is the most rational way. වඩාත්ම තාර්කික ක්‍රමය නිසා ඔයාලට වෙළඳපොළ අගේ මත ඒ කියන්නේ අපි මේ හදන විදිහටම දෙනවා. නමුත් book value එකට දුවෙන්ද හදන්න කිව්වොත් එහෙම ඔයාලා ඒ values නෙමෙයි ගන්න මේකෙන් book values identify කරන්න ඕනේ. එහෙනම් මෙතන මිලියන 500 එහෙම book values එහෙනම් weight එක හදන විදිය වෙනස් වෙනවා. එතකොට retain earnings වලටත් weight එකක් එනවා. නමුත් ප්‍රායෝගික ක්‍රමය වඩා තාර්කික ක්‍රමය market value එක. Okay, then get the values for the market values for these sources. Ordinary shares, how to get that? We are having, yeah, we identified ordinary shares. We are having 1 million, then 1 million into per share market value 750 සාමාන්‍ය කොටසක අපි million වලින්ම හදමු. Then answer is I am putting the values from millions 750. Then retain earnings has been given no market value, but book value is there 150 million. Then preference shares market value is 140. How can we get that one? 500 into 28 you can get. Then we can get the debentures market value also. Debentures not having market value, no? Yeah, debentures not having market value, but in here we normally are putting those things even though not having the case of debentures, even though they are not going to trade in the markets, but we are paying practical compensations for those debentures. So normally even though as a market value base, we are putting the value of the book value of the debentures under the market values. අපි සල්ලි ගන්න නිසා නැතන අපි ordinary shares දාන්න එතන ඍජු පිරිවැයක් දරන්න නැති නිසා, but we are getting the we are considering the opportunity cost. මෙතන opportunity cost එක විතරයි සලකා බලන්නේ. මෙතන අපි ඍජුවම දරන නිසා අපිට වෙළඳාම් කරන්න බැරි වුණත් මූල්‍ය වෙළඳපළ තුල අපි මෙතන market value එක විදිහට ඒක අඳුන ගන්නවා මේ debentures. ඒක දැම්මේ නැතත් කමන්නේ තාර්කිකව නමුත් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් දාන්න පුරුදු වෙන්න. Then total we can get, then weighted we can calculate, then cost of capital already we have identified, then weight into cost of capital, then get the total, that is the weighted average cost of capital. Okay, finish this. Then we can move for 2019 question. I am not going to discuss that one, but some new parts there, I will discuss that part. If you have any doubts now, you can ask. Yes, now we can move to the next question. 2019 question number 5. Okay, here I will put the answer. Okay, let's see. Here only few things we need to do. All others are same as earlier sum. අනිත් ඔක්කොම කලින් ගානේ වගේ තමයි. But here in ordinary share valuation is going to do 2019 question number 5. Going to do using CAPM model, CAPM model. Okay. Here you can see risk-free rate have been identified. Here you should identify one thing. Risk-free rate, normally basically in finance economies, we are considering the risk-free rate as the rate which is paid by the government institutes bonds. රජ්‍ය විසින් භාණ්ඩාගාර බිල්පත් භාණ්ඩාගාර බැඳුම් කර වලට ගෙවන වටිනාකම තමයි අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ආර්ථිකයක රිස්ක් ෆ්‍රී රේට් එක විදිහට ගන්න. මොකද ඒක ෂුවර් නිසා. මේක රිස්ක් එකයි ඉස්සරහට කතා කරනවා. ඔයාලට ගාන රිස්ක් ෆ්‍රී රේට් එක දෙන්න නැතුව ට්‍රෙෂරි බොන්ඩ්ස් වල හරි ට්‍රෙෂරි බිල්ස් වල හරි රේට් එක දීලා තියෙනවා නම් ඒක කන්සිඩර් කරන්න ඔයාලා රිස්ක් ෆ්‍රී රේට් එක විදිහට. That concepts will be discussed under the strategic financial management in next semester. Abhi next semester එකේදී ඔවා කතා කරනවා strategic financial management එක යද්දී deeply ඔය beta ගේන සංකල්පය. Then here not the market risk premium, it should be market risk premium. Then beta value here 1.25. කවුරු හරි මේ paper එකේ මේ වැරද්ද තිබ්බේ නැහැ. paper එකේ නෙමෙයි මේ paper එකේ type කරලා මේක මේ ඔයාලගේ group එකට දාද්දි මොකක් හරි අවුලක් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. 1.25 තමයි beta value එක. market risk premium නෙමෙයි market risk premium එක 9.6%. Okay, then here another thing is here market risk premium. RM means not the market, KM means here market premium, not the market return. Okay, RKM here market return. Here KRF market risk free rate. Here market premium refers the one answer for this part. KM minus KRF is the market risk premium. එතකොට KM minus KRF වල උත්තරේ තමයි අපි කියන්නේ market premium කියලා. In my video I have explained those things. No need to worry, just Keep in mind these scenarios. These things we are going to discuss under strategic financial management. Then market risk rate is 4%. Market premium ඒ කියන්නේ මේ දෙකේ උත්තරේ තමයි 9.6. KM නෙමේ KM minus KRF තමයි 9.6. beta value 125 නෙමේ 1.25. Now we can adapt this equation. Then answer is 16%. All others are same as the earlier one. එහෙනම් මම හදන්න යන්නේ අනිත් ඔක්කොම ඉස්සෙල් එක වගේම තමයි. Okay. You can do these things, then I will move to next one. This one, calculation of growth rate. That means Q4.3. Q4.3. මම උත්තරේ මේක දාන්නම් ඔයාලා බලන්න. අපි යමු Q4.3 වලට. A different question which we had in last year. G calculation, growth rate calculation, which discussed. Under that I have discussed in the video session two methods. One method is this RB model. Here you can see Chanaka PLC has issued 100,000 of ordinary shares at the rate of rupees 20 per share, and the current market price of a share is 25. Okay. During this period, company has earned 1.2 million, out of which 400,000 has been paid as dividends. Again 1.2 million earn කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒකෙන් ලක්ෂ 4ක් ගෙවලා තියෙනවා dividends විදියට ordinary shareholders ලට. And 200,000 has been paid dividends as preference shareholders. Preference shareholders ලට ගෙවලා තියෙනවා ලක්ෂ 2ක්. The ROE, return on equity, is 25%. Compute your required compute dividend growth rate. Dividend growth rate එක හදන්නලු using RB model. මේ spellings අවුල් තියෙනවා. මේක මේ paper එකේ නෑ. මේ type කරනකොටයි තියෙන්නේ. මේ paper එකේ මම ගත්තේ තියෙනවා. Compute the dividend growth rate. G equal RB. Okay. Normally I have discussed this one in the video. R is ROE, B is retention ratio. Retention ratio means what? Retention ratio refers how much of portion from this profit are retained as retained earnings. Retained earnings විදිහට තියාගන්න කොටස. Then ROE have been given. We have to identify the B value, retention ratio. Then B value can be identified easily. 1 minus dividend per share over earning per share. Then මෙතන මේ ratio එකෙන් dividend per share earning per share වලින් බෙදුවාම earning per share වලින් පෙන්නනවා කොච්චරක් ordinary shareholders ලා earn කරලා තියෙනවද කියලා. dividend per share වලින් පෙන්නනවා කොච්චරක් dividends විදිහට pay කරලා තියෙනවද කියලා. Okay, earning per share represents how much of portion has earned by the ordinary shareholder from the view of per share. The dividend per share reveals that from that earnings how much of portion have been declared to the ordinary shareholders. Then if we deduct earnings, we need to identify then dividend per share divided by earning per share shows how much, what is the portion which declares to the ordinary shareholders. Then if we deduct that amount from 1 means the portion which retained as retained earnings. ඔයාලා මේක මෙහෙම කියනකොට තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඕක ඔළුවට අරගෙන මේ ගාන බලන්න. time limit නිසා මම යනවා 3 වෙනකන් දාලා තියෙන්නේ. දැන් 3:05. That's why. Then here dividends for ordinary shares have been mentioned 400,000. The number of ordinary shares 100,000. Okay, we can use these two values to identify dividend per share. Okay, then dividend per share is dividend for preference shares, then dividend per share value is 400,000 divided by 100,000. එහෙනම් කොටසකගේ කොටසකට ලැබෙන ලාභාංශය 4යි. Then profit after tax you have been given 1.2 million. අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඔයාලා දන්නවා වරණීය කොටස් වලදී වරණීය කොටස් හිමියන්ට අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මේ ගෙවීම සිද්ධ කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒක ගිවිසුම්ගත වෙනවා වරණීය කොටස් නිකුත් කරනකොටම. When it's become preference shares, when the preference shares are issuing, the particular company is agreeing to pay that fixed dividend. Then that means we cannot ignore. Okay, wait. Yeah, api answer sheet එක දානවා ඔයාලා අවුලක් නැහැ. Then we are sending these dividends. Okay, then we can calculate dividend from preference shares. We need to pay. එතකොට අපේ profit after tax වලින් වරණීය කොටස් ගෙව්වට පස්සේ ඉතුරු වෙන ටික තමයි සාමාන්‍ය කොටස් හිමියට අයිති වෙන්නේ. එහෙනම් ලක්ෂ 1.2 million වලින් 2 lakhs ගියාම 1 million තමයි ඉතුරු වෙන්නේ සාමාන්‍ය කොටස් හිමියට. ඒක කොටස් ගානින් බෙදුවාම ඒ කියන්නේ මෙතන ලක්ෂයෙන් අපිට එනවා earning per share. I think you got the idea. Okay, then B we can calculate 1 minus, as we have calculated dividend per share and earning per share. Then R value has been given, then simply G value can obtain. Okay, if we know the G, then we can adopt dividend growth model, then we can get the cost of ordinary share capital. Okay, so those are the things basic parts I touched. Then I have done some past paper examples and so many discussions I have done in the video sessions. So I will upload this Excel sheet also. Okay, then please go through those. And when you are join with me in next week, please go through that bond valuation lecture session and join with me. Next session I am going, then from this part basically around 15 marks in your paper will be covered. In valuation part also it will be covered another 15 to 10 marks. Basically around 20 marks, not 20 to 40 marks. අවම 20 44 ප්‍රමාණයක් මේ පාඩම් දෙකෙන් cover වෙනවා. So please study. Okay, so from today part, if you have any doubts, I know these parts are a little bit difficult. Okay, when you are doing this in first time, so that's why I am asking again and again. Go through the past papers, go through these answers, go through that lecture materials, and go through the video sessions. Then all these things will be easy. If you have any doubts, don't worry, feel free to contact me through the Google Classroom. Okay, yes, this video I will upload later on. Okay, පස්සේ මම upload කරන්නම් මේ videos ටික. දැම්ම බෑ, පස්සේ upload කරන්නම්. එතකන් අපි daily ඔයාලා මාත් එක්ක සම්බන්ධ වෙන්න. පස්සේ upload කරන්න. Okay, if you have any doubts, please contact. මේ දවස් උපරිම විදිහට පාවිච්චි කරන්න. එතකොට ඔයාලට ඉක්මනට ඉවර කරගන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි. Okay, thank you very much. If you have any doubts, please ask. Okay, you're welcome to all. ජොබ් කරන කට්ටිය ඉන්නවනේ ඉරිදත් වැඩ එකයි නිශ්චය. මං හිතුවේ ඉරිදා නිසා නිවාඩු කියලා, ඒකයි මං දැම්මේ මේ සෙනසුරාදා. මේ ඉරිදා නිසා නිවාඩු වෙති කියලා මං දෙකට දැම්මේ. හරි, මම මොකක් හරි බලන්න. Okay, thank you all. Thank you.